coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, as it's called, CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Great.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Great.
Here's Newton. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who is going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. On 1st down, it's Newton. Flush to his right. Got an open man. It's McLeod. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
McCaffrey on the counter. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 15-yard line.
Ready? 180, 8, 8. Not today, you are. Not today. 49, guys. Mike, 49. It's coming this way.
On second and 12, Newton. And an out. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. This is caught. Watkins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the twist.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On the ground, McCaffrey. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
So don't say nothing. Check. Gun. Check.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
49 the money. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Here's Newton. And able to find Garcon. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's McCaffrey. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Brian Burns just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
20. Gun. Watch the safety creep. Great.
Just beating the play clock is Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Mike 51. 6 man. Check for 36 power. 66.
From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive lineman with it.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing on second and long. Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Third and long, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 75 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
The week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Gun. Mike. Get him.
On second and 7, Newton escaping the pressure right. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Gun. Here we go. 8.
Out of the gun, Newton. Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they wrap? And a big loss here as he's taken down. Gerald McCoy. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Watch that. Hey, easy. Come on, G.
Play action. Now Wilson. Being chased out left. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Check 9. Begin.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
49's the mic.
Now it's Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Newton. He's going to fire one. He's got a man. Complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, 82 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson dancing to his left. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go. One flip. Go. Pop. Mike Foreman on me.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Hatch it. Hold up. Go, 4 down. 61. Match pops. Right.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Let's get it.
This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Go. Get some penetration here. Get some penetration. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Hey, pick your game up.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton flushed out right. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Mike 49.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Pierre Garçon, 51 yards. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Even. 4th down. Hey, 0. Shit. Hey, Mike 51. Got it. Hey, he's hunting.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
14.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 42. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Newton spins past it, and that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a third down. Newton to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
51 to Mike. 8.
Here we go on fourth. Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here.
Here we go. Double time, double time. 4 down.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. And Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season.